So Leland's getting ready to go on live. You know, he has a security guy's camera, and I'm getting my phone jammed on this thing, and I see the whole crowd turn, and they go, "Hey, that guy's with Fox News. He's a white supremacist. Get him!"
No.
The best that I can, and I think as of now, man, like the audience appreciates it because like the messages that I get, you know, I get people that are like, "Hey, man, I thought this about immigration, but you know, I view it like this," or like, "Hey,
Right.
I voted for this guy because I thought this, and then I saw your thing. I had no idea it was like that." The stories that probably always gonna have the impact is when you show the kids. I think that's when people gravitate the most. But just you know, just always the reminder, bro, to not turn numb to it. Because I think, and I've seen that into people, and I don't blame them. You know, we work in a crazy industry, so sometimes you can. But I think for me, is always try to keep myself human and be like, I don't want to get too lost in the sauce. I would say I still want to be human. I want to feel something. And at the end of the day, man, I'm here to tell a story. It's not my agenda. And I think people appreciate that left and right now.
Yeah, I think that's great, and I hope you maintain that, because I know, you know, I don't do what you do. But I've talked to a lot of guys who, not necessarily with the border, but are doing hard-hitting stories and looking at stuff. I can imagine as a human being, when you really get deep on something, right? You know all about it. You're there. You're seeing it all the time. You're trying to yell to the mainstream people about it. You know, guys like me who are just out here clicking this stuff online, like on Twitter, and saying, no, look, this is what it really is. You know, it can get frustrating maybe when people don't listen. And I can imagine it's tempting to want to, let's use your word, sensationalize some things. And I think it's if you haven't indeed done that, it doesn't appear you have. I think it's really good that you haven't, and I hope you don't, because I also happen to think a story like this, I don't think it really needs any sensationalization. No. I think it's exactly, you know, if you're, for example, that graveyard scene, if you can even call it that, whatever that is. You can't even put that on a video because
exactly
it'll get taken down from everywhere. But like, what more do you have to do? Like, that's what it is.
No, you're right, dude. And it's insane, man. Now we're here, 2024. We're close to this election, and yeah, man. I just been the past 4 years as a journalist has been crazy because you said, you know, the pendulum swings have been so insane. I wasn't even a border guy. Just, you know, it kind of stumbled.
Yeah, how did you get into the border?
So basically for me, man, is back in 2020, I was still a student journalist. I was going to College of the Canyons in SoCal, and nobody in LA was given an internship at that time. And through his name is Sagar and Jetty on Breaking Points.
Oh, I know him. Yeah, so, I don't know him, but I know of him well.
So Sagar at that time was he was with The Hill, and he was doing his Rising show. I was a big fan of the show, and I reached out to Sagar on Twitter. I was like, "Hey, man, look, I'm a college kid in California. Like, I need an internship. I feel like I'm really good at what I do." And then, you know, shockingly, Sagar actually like replied. He like put me on a phone call. And he kind of vetted me, I think, and then he thought I was legit, and he's like, "Hey, let me connect you with the Daily Caller. I think you might be a fit there." And I started doing interviews with the Daily Caller, and then at that time they were like, "When could you come out for the internship?" And I said, "Well, technically I'm in school, but I could come out for the summer." But it's still, you know, it was COVID, so it was crazy times. So they were like, "Come in the summer." They're like, "We don't know what your internship is gonna look like because we don't have a newsroom because of COVID, but we need you in DC, and it is gonna be unpaid." So. So I said,
thanks.
So I said I could come in May, and the only reason I made it work, and I don't, this is the Salvadorian thing, but a bunch of my family from El Salvador is in Virginia. I don't know why, but a lot of Salvadorians moved out there. So I had an uncle who was like, "I got a basement for you, you know, live in the basement during your internship." So I flew out there, flew to in DC. I believe it was like May 22nd. 2020. I'm bringing up the date for a reason. I'll show why. So I come out there, and then my very first day is I'm just editing other people's videos for them. So I'm editing other news reporter stuff, and it was like May 25th, I think it was. It was like my second day of my internship.
George Floyd.
Yeah. So it was May 25th. I'm at my uncle's, and I'm editing videos, and I have live streams up. Minneapolis Police Department releases the George Floyd video. Obviously, that night, Minneapolis police gets like burned to the ground, like the whole city basically. Mm-hmm. And I'm watching it, and I'm obviously shocked as a reporter. I'm like, "What the heck?" And then the next day, people don't remember this, but like obviously I do because it was just insane. But the next day was around 2 p.m. And then the riots started in LA. So that's when like the video started coming out of like guys going into Gucci stores, breaking into Gucci stores. There was like I think it was like on the 405, there was like a LAPD car and the guy was like on top of it. I remember just watching like, this is, I can't believe this is happening in the US, but I don't think much of it. And then like I keep editing, and then like I had this female friend who felt really bad for me because she's like, hey, I know you're new to DC, you have like no friends. She's like, come with me to this party. You need to mingle. So I go to this party. I'm doing my thing. I'm drinking a little tequila. Yeah, feeling good. And then so during this time, what I don't know, because I'm trying to like get at this girl, I'm drinking tequila and feeling myself. So what I don't know is that around 2,000 Black Lives Matter protesters are at the White House. And they're fighting Secret Service, and they're fighting local DC cops. And it got so rowdy that they had to put Trump under a bunker because they actually thought for a minute that the White House was about to be breached. So, and I don't know this is going on. I'm having fun. I'm not checking Twitter. And around 1 a.m, I get a call from a producer, and I'm like, this has to. First of all, I just think it's a mistake. It's super late. But I answer the phone, and he was like yelling. He's like, Jorge, like, no reporters answering the phone. No one's answering the phone. They're like, and he's just like,
this is your moment.
Yeah. He's like, they have Trump under a bunker. He's like, there's a riot. He's like, we need a, he's like, we need a report on the ground. So I take an Uber and I get to Lafayette Park. Park is front of the White House. It's chaotic, man. They're fighting Secret Service. DC cops are like hitting folks. You got the riot shields out there pushing the crowd back, and then Trump's under a bunker at this point. So I get there. And I'm trying to get my phone on this like selfie stick to start reporting. So I'm trying to get my phone on this jam thing, and this is technically my first night reporting ever for a media company. Remember, I'm a student reporter, so I'm coming from college. And then next to me was a guy at that time I didn't know his name, but next to me was Leland Vittert of Fox News. So Leland was getting ready to do his live hit. I think he was like gonna go on Brett Baer or whatever. He's gonna go live on Fox News National and probably do the walk and talk, show the crowd and everything. So Leland's getting ready to go on live. He has a security guy's camera, and I'm getting my phone jammed on this thing, and I see the whole crowd turn, and they go, "Hey, that guy's with Fox News. He's a white supremacist. Get him!" No. And then I just see this whole crowd turn to Leland and start punching Leland in the back of the head. They're wailing at the security guys. One of the protesters grabbed the camera, slams it on the ground, kicks the cameraman. And these are big security guys, but dude, it's a mob of people. So each way, these guys are getting wailed. And then, so I snap my phone on finally, like, da-da-da-da, and I start filming. That's my video. See Daily Caller. Oh, that's right, Ventura. Yeah. So I start filming Leland getting assaulted. So at this point, they kind of break away, and they're gonna make it to a DC police line. So this is me as a reporter. This is me as an intern, and that's my hand right there. I'm doing the narration. See how they're assaulting them. This is at the end of the assault because they finally break away. So Leland gets to a DC police line. I run right behind Leland. I go, "You have no idea who I am, but I'm an intern for the Daily Caller. I just filmed everything that happened to you." So then Leland turns to me and he says, "Thank you so much. I owe you." He's like, "Anything you need in DC, you let me know, kid." And then he gives me a business card, and then it says Leland Vittert, Fox News anchor, and I'm like, "Oh, okay." So then what I didn't know is, then I went on Twitter and I put like #breaking Leland Vittert, Fox News anchor, blah blah blah, assaulted in front of Lafayette Park. Send the tweet out. Don't think nothing of it. Take the Uber back to my uncle's house. And wake up the next day. I go to Twitter first. My Twitter DMs are like, I have over like 30 of the blue check messages. So it's like NBC News Primetime, Fox News Business, Fox News Primetime, CNN Business, NSBC, Young Turks. It's every media company saying, "We're running your story crediting Jorge Ventura, running your story crediting Jorge Ventura, running your story, crediting Jorge Ventura." And it just exploded. And I'm like, what the heck? And so then my editor-in-chief of Daily Caller basically calls me and says, "Hey, man, we brought you in to edit videos. You just broke the biggest story in DC as an intern on your first night.
You're hired, kid."
They were like, you could do whatever you want to do, just do it. And I said, "Okay, cool." So then, I remember like that night, like the next day was like a Saturday, Sunday, and there was riots in Baltimore. So then I was like, "Can I go to Baltimore?" They're like, "Yeah."
Sure,
so I went to Baltimore, and covered the riots. And then like on Monday, dude, this was just like a cool thing as a news student reporter. So on Monday, dude, I'm watching Tucker Carlson because like at that time during the riots and everything, dude, Tucker's like monologues were like on fire. He was just like tearing the country. So like I'm like researching another story and have Tucker Carlson on because I'm like, it's Monday. Let's see what Tucker has to say. And Tucker always starts the show with a monologue, then he gets into the news of the day. But Tucker doesn't go into a monologue. He goes straight into the story. He goes, Fox News, Tucker Carlson, welcome to Tucker Carlson. Tonight, over the weekend, our colleague, Leland Vitter, was assaulted. And I go, there's only one person with the video. He goes, Daily calls Jorge Ventura, captures the moments. And boom, goes into my video. You got to remember, dude, I'm a student reporter. My first night interning. And now the #1 show in primetime news, Tucker Carlson, that gets millions of views, rated #1, is now running my story in the first minute of his show. So they ran the story. And basically, bro, like my company was like, dude, literally, you could just do whatever you want this whole internship. But what we didn't know at the time, bro, is that the riots were gonna go all summer long. So my whole internship and how I got started in reporting was because of George Floyd. So then I ended up immediately after that, we went to Atlanta.
Thank you for watching the video, guys. If you haven't already subscribed, please smash that subscribe button and check out this clip's full podcast episode by clicking here or in the description below.